Okay, just going to show you some of the garden area that we've been preparing. This is the this is kind of the southwestern part of the property. That old lean-to shed back over there, part of it's going to be torn down, and then there's an animal pen in the back, and we're going to get rid of that. There's a bunch of growth in there. I don't know what it is. It may be berries. We have not lived here in the spring, so the spring will be interesting to see what actually blooms and comes up out of the ground and out of the trees that right now look quite barren. They're mostly mesquite trees and oak trees, and this stuff called white bush or bee bush and white brush. But we have a lot of grasses, and this field will probably be, over there where the well house is, there's a already designated garden area that I'm going to use probably as a squash patch and grow pumpkins and squash. So that'll be in the fall. Lots of this iron, old farm implements all over the place. We've got to figure out what to do with that. I'm thinking it'll be yard art or something, but anyway, when the spring comes, we'll see everything that blooms, and we're also going to have a group from the it's the Master Naturalist chapter, Highland Lakes chapter, which is an extension of Texas A&M, and they are going to come out and do a survey of our land for us. It's a free service that they offer. I think it's called Texas Master Naturalists. Again, it's through Texas A&M extension, and they're going to come out and do a survey of our flora, mainly the plants that we have, and give us a report of that. We also are in the midst of Clay is preparing a wildlife plan that will help us hopefully prepare for a wildlife tax exemption that we're going to get for our property taxes, hopefully. Anyway, this garden is kind of a big reason why we're here. One of the big reasons why we're here is we wanted to grow our own food and actually have food that we could grow that would be available to the community as well. I will be growing herbs and vegetables for the most part, probably beans and peas and root vegetables, and probably berries, strawberries, and I might do some blackberries at some point. I don't think I'd do them in the garden. I'd probably do them out wild somewhere where we can have kind of a briar patch, so to speak. Back over there is my compost. Anyway, I filmed it before, but it wasn't the video. I didn't have it on video. But the compost, I'll take you over there and show you what I'm doing with that. But Clay used the tractor to, we kind of identified this area because it has the lean-to on the north side. It will definitely have east and west exposure, and what's nice is this tree also can offer some shade, which can be good in a garden in an area that gets as hot as it gets here. We're going to have a greenhouse over here eventually, and then we'll be able to grow our own seedlings. It'll be a small climate-controlled kind of a hobby greenhouse, but a little bit bigger than your kind of small greenhouse. So. But that'll be over on the west side of the garden, and then we'll have raised beds and some berms, growing berms in here as well. We've got to fence it in, of course, because the deer will eat it and all the other critters will get in and dig in it. I did send a sample of the soil to the Texas A&M Ag Extension for the county, where they're going to run a test on it and let us know the phosphorus level, the potassium and nitrogen, I think, and maybe manganese, and I asked for boron as well, which I don't really know what I'm going to do with that, but I just figured for another $2 I'd get that information. This area had a lot of cactus in it. It also at some point was a were told, and we've seen evidence of it, probably a hog. They had hogs. They had some watering faucets for hogs to kind of self-serve water, and we took those out. We don't need those, but we do have a water faucet over here. So what Clay did first was we pulled a bunch of stuff out. You can see there was just a lot of stuff over here and over here, all over here, we've got iron for days that we've pulled out of here, and there's some over there as well. But there's a lot of cactus in here. So we really needed to just get the rocks out, get the cactus out, turn over the soil some to break up the weeds, and then when we get the soil test back from the Ag Extension, we'll know how to amend the soil. We'll do that for our raised beds and for whatever we're going to put in the ground. And of course, and then we'll fence it. We're probably going to put about a six foot fence around it. But the first pass on this thing was kind of pulling all the trash out and iron and other things like that. And then Clay took the tractor and used the box blade to kind of go over the area and pull out the big stuff and kind of get it turned up, and then I just took that rake and did pretty much what Clay's doing. Just raked the whole area, trying to pull because there's still a lot of cactus paddles in there, which probably, if they didn't have needles, would be okay in the soil. They'd probably be good for it, but they have those needles, and I don't want to dig in here with all the cactus paddles in there. So, and we have this stuff called Christmas cactus. There's a lot of that too. So we found a lot of like this. See all the paddle cactus kind of right here in this pile. We've got to get all this picked up, and so I think the goal today is to get these cactus piles and piles of rocks and things into the tractor, like what Clay's doing, and we're going to take it over and put it over behind the white bush and create a berm. We're calling it a cactus berm back there that will serve a few purposes. One is a place to put this stuff. The other is that over time it will hopefully get larger and larger and help us with some sound barrier from Highway 16, and then maybe some cactus will grow on it too, so that'll be kind of interesting. So this is where the gate will be, and I guess we'll get back with you and show you how things progress.